With the highly anticipated announcement that the Switch 2 is going to be right around the corner, I think it's time we talk about some of their older systems. More importantly, I think we should talk about the DS systems, because boy were these things nice. How's it going, everybody? I'm CloudRaids and welcome to the channel, where I talk about video games and everything surrounding them. Make sure you guys check out the Twitter, because I'm always taking recommendations. Sometimes you guys bring stuff to my attention that I might not have known about. But without further ado, let's get into this because I'm pretty excited to talk about it. With Nintendo's most recent consoles being the Switch and the rumored Switch 2 to be announced here soon, I think it's time we talk about the old and faithful, the DS systems. Because whether it's the original DS or the new 3DS XL, it's pretty hard to go wrong with any of these. And with these newer systems, I think people forget just how great the DSs were, especially with the mindset out with the old in with the new, but these things are pretty marvelous. When I'm thinking of a console or a system to take with me on the go, my first thought is the DS. More specifically, probably my 3DS XL or my DS Lite, because these things are so comfortable in your hand and they just feel so good. I heard people get hand cramps when playing them for a long time, but me personally, I've never had that. Not only are these things so comfortable, but the fact that you can flip them and turn them into a little brick is just so convenient when you're on the go. They all can do this except the 2DS, but even that has its own purpose. It's still comfortable to use. But with my DS Lite, I can literally just slip it in my pocket and it feels like I just have another phone in my pocket. I forget that it's even there. So it's really nice to take with me whether I'm on a long plane trip or I'm on a long car ride. Hell, even when I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for my people to get out the store, I still like to have it on me. Another thing that really made these systems so great was the variations of them. There's something for everybody, which you don't see a lot nowadays, especially when you look at the Switch. They have the Switch, they have the OLED and a Switch Lite, but with the DS systems, there's 10 variations of them. You heard that right, 10. So that is a lot. If you don't like one, you're probably gonna love another. Another thing that I really like about these systems that I think people really forget is with each system, the variation of that specific one is also so awesome. There's different colors to fit everybody. Right now I'm looking at a chopper from One Piece DS that I'm probably going to buy off of eBay, and it really makes me wish that the Switch had stuff like this too. I know they have the Splatoon and they have like a red Mario one, but when you're looking for something to really catch the eye, it does feel a little lackluster. Now they fixed this issue with the Switch Lights. Those come in pretty cool colors, but I wish the original Switches did as well. But that's something where the DS really shines. They have the blue ones, the pink ones, the black ones, the red ones. If you name it, they probably have a color. And it's also super easy to get them customized as well. But speaking of customization, with the 3DSs, the home screens, they had themes and everything, which is, it feels crazy to think that the newer consoles don't have that. Because being able to customize your DS really makes it feel like yours. All of these things make the DS feel absolutely great. At the moment, I have a Tokyo Ghoul theme on mine. I also use a JoJo's theme from here to there, but there's so many options to choose from. And I know I mentioned this before, but the comfortability of holding the DSs is really top tier. Sometimes with the Switch, I feel like it's a little awkward to hold, and if you take off the Joy-Cons, they're a little small, especially if you have big hands like me. They can feel a little weird, but you don't have this problem with any of the DS systems. I feel like I could hold mine and play mine for hours on end, until at least the battery dies. But even then, the batteries on the DS aren't that bad. They're actually pretty good. I don't have to worry about my DS dying as much, but when it does, it's charged up in maybe 30 minutes. And the fact that you can have a 3DS and play DS games on it is absolutely beautiful. And if you have a DS Lite like me, you can even play Game Boys on it, which is absolutely wild. It doesn't punish you for really wanting to have physical copies of a game. It actually entices you to buy physical copies, which is something that I love, because I love the little cartridges for the Switch and the DS. To me, they're just really satisfying to have. Sadly, they are expensive no matter what console you go to. It seems like the DS trend is kind of picking up at the moment. So some of the DSs are a little pricey and some of the games are a little pricey too. I know I picked up Pokemon Black and Pokemon Black 2 for 80 bucks each, and that in itself was a steal, because I've seen them getting sold at game stores for $150 to $250, which is a little pricey, but online on eBay you should be able to get them a little cheaper. But even those in themselves are a little expensive at the moment. It seems like the Pokemon games seem to be the real expensive ones here, and definitely some of the Zelda games too, because those in themselves were absolutely great games. But all of the other like miscellaneous games aren't that expensive. You could probably pick them up for 15 to 20 bucks depending on the game that you want, especially with the new GameStop retro thing that they have going on. I've definitely gotten some games from there that are a lot cheaper compared to if I tried to get them after they left GameStop, which sounds really weird because GameStop doesn't have the best reputation for this kind of stuff, and some of the stuff they do have there is a little little overpriced. I know they're selling Pokemon Diamond for like 70 bucks, but online it's like a lot cheaper than that. But if you pick your battles right, you can definitely get a good bargain, especially if you use Facebook Marketplace like me, which I am all over that. You can definitely get a good bang for your buck, especially with the greatness that these DSs will bring you. Speaking of the games, I think the DS has some of the best games that I've played from a Nintendo console. I know Mario Kart DS was absolutely fun to play. I still play it from time to time. And they even have a Grand Theft Auto game on a Nintendo console, which I don't think there has been another one since then, called Grand Theft Auto China Wars, which is super underrated. I'd definitely give it a shot if I was you. But even then, you have the Mario games and you even have Ace Attorney. All of these games are absolutely fun to play. Don't even get me started on Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. That game is an absolute blast to play. A lot of these games you can spend hours upon hours playing, and a lot of them have a lot of replayability. Sadly, the Nintendo store did get shut down for the DS systems, but no need to fear. If you have a 3DS, those games are extremely easy to mod, and when you mod these systems, well, I don't promote piracy, but if you get my drift, you can sell the 7 Cs, and let's just say you can find the one piece of games or themes or anything else your heart desires. You can do that all on one console. Something else that I don't see a lot of people talking about when it comes to these DS systems is the community surrounding them. I didn't know the first thing about modding my DSs, especially when I first got it, but the community made that very easy for me to do, especially if you look at like the subreddits for them. They're all really helpful compared to if you look at a subreddit like for League of Legends, that is just, it's really toxic. And I was honestly surprised to see how alive these communities even were, especially considering how old these systems really are, relatively speaking. I was surprised to see how much traction not only the subreddits get, but even the videos that people make about the DS systems. It's almost like the DSs really never lost their popularity, and that says a lot about the systems themselves. Maybe it just says a lot about Nintendo and how good they are at making these systems. And I'm not a big Nintendo fanboy, but I gotta give credit where credit's due because these things are pretty freaking cool. As great as I think these systems are, they do have some downsides to them. Like if you're a big graphics person, then maybe these systems just weren't for you. At the time they were good, but compared to the Switch and all the new consoles nowadays, they do look a little outdated, but it's really up to personal preference. I like the way the Pokemon games look on the DS and the 3DS compared to the Switch, but if you're looking at it like Zelda, I think Zelda looks absolutely beautiful on the Switch. It doesn't look bad on the DS either, especially for its time, but if you're looking to get into the DS or the 3DS and you really care about that kind of stuff, just keep that in mind. But my biggest and really only gripe that I have about these systems are the styluses. I think stylus? I think that's how you say it. But God, can these things be so annoying, especially if you lose yours. Good luck trying to tap on the screen to type something. You're gonna be there for at least a couple of minutes. I bought a whole pack and I've probably lost 5 of them already. So if you're somebody who's forgetful like me, or you lose things pretty easily, that can be kind of annoying. Luckily, they're not expensive. You can buy a pack of them of like 10 for $5 or something like that. But if you don't have a stylus, you definitely have to get a stylus, especially to play some of these games. That's probably the one thing that I don't like about the DS, is the fact that it does have really bad touchscreen quality. But during this time, they were still working on that kind of stuff, so I gotta give them a little bit of leeway, at least when it comes to that. But with all that being said, I'm CloudRaids and this is my channel, which means I guess that this is my video. If you enjoyed it, maybe leave a like. If you loved it, possibly subscribe. If not, I get it, it's okay. Either way, I love you guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you guys love these DS systems like I do? They clearly seem to be a fan favorite in a lot of people's hearts. Definitely in my heart. They just had so much to love about them. Do you guys love them? Do you hate them? Do you have one? Let me know. But I love you guys. Y'all have a great day. And I don't know what time it is there, so probably have a great night too. Once again, I love you.